Looks all dark. I'm live now. Come on camera. I think a little bit light. I think when you move. Very cool. Hey everybody, welcome to Shift. This is our monthly Lunch and Learn event. This is episode 6. We're talking all about audio. So actually today I brought in Sean with Sound Up Now, which is an audio marketing and voice marketing company. Does some software development to help get your voice out on devices like Alexa and that kind of stuff. He's going to talk a little bit about why that's important and why voice marketing is the now, not just the future. So we're talking about voice marketing, things like podcasting, Alexa flash briefings, any kind of audio that you're putting out there as content or marketing or sales in that arena is what he's going to be talking about today. So glad if you tuned in here or sitting here eating pizza with us, that's cool too. It's also a good content for Sound Up Now. We'll be recording that so that they can use that on their platforms and that kind of stuff as kind of a formal video setting to introduce. So you're going to go through all introductions, right? Who you are.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. Sean McKenna, come on up.
Hello, everyone. So cool. They almost forgot I wasn't here. My name's Sean. I am one of the co-founders of SoundUpNow.com. Basically, what we do is we get you onto the Alexa device without having to do custom coding or programming, which a lot of people don't know how or nor do they want to do. So we kind of we get rid of that. So what I actually want to talk about today is voice. And you've probably all heard a little bit or a lot about it at this point. But we think that voice is going to be the future of convenient marketing for some people. Everyone has a voice. Some people are very loud and angry. But a lot of the ways that people are using voice now is with Alexa. Sorry if I set one off at any point in time. There's also the Google Home and other devices that you can actually use for voice. But the Alexa is now becoming almost every household item. And soon, in some other places as well. So does anybody here have an Alexa? Yes, everyone here, all 200 of you have Alexa. Wow, look at that. That's awesome. So Alexa can be used for a lot of things. Someone give me a reason they use Alexa. What do you get out of Alexa? Weather?
The 90 seconds of real estate with Chris Moore.
That's all great one.
Yeah, so weather and news. That's a big thing. To me, Alexa is a lot more than that. Alexa is really good at helping me sleep. So my Alexa goes with me everywhere. I used to always have a fan next to my bed, and that's somebody else sleeping, but that kind of gives you an idea. So I always have to have a fan next to my bed. The problem is when you go places, you can't have that. But I like the sound of something when I sleep. But with Alexa, I can do things like when I'm in my bedroom, I can have it sound like I'm at the beach, which is nice. I can have rainforest sounds. Those are all fun things. And my favorite is the oscillating fan, which makes me kind of feel like I'm in a factory sleeping. But for some reason, I actually want to get to sleep. So the possibilities are endless where you can do certain things like this. Question is?
This is Alexa.
Chris is going to grab one right now for you. So just being able to say, Alexa, play ambient zoo sounds. And I feel like I'm sleeping in a zoo. And it's great. You know, I have kids, so it sounds like that. He's going to grab one right now and show it to you. Here's an image right here. This is a bunch of different devices. So you have the regular Alexas. You have the Alexas with the screens on them as well. Small ones, short ones. And there's quite a few places now where Alexa is showing up. This right here is an Echo Dot. Everybody can see.
What's cost effective in popular?
It's $30.
What does that do?
Everything I'm about to show you here. So a lot of what Alexa can do, like I said, is you can tell her to play sounds. Chris asked about the weather, and the weather is very, very important because without that, you might end up getting stuck in the rain and being really sad because you didn't have Alexa tell you what it's going to be like outside today. That's the only way I get my weather at this point. But as you can see, certain Alexas have screens now, so you wake up in the morning and this is your alarm clock instead of the regular numbers that you have there. But Alexa also is going into the car, which makes what we are doing at Sound Up very, very important with our flash briefings. And essentially when you have Alexa, you have what's called a flash briefing. And so in the morning you say, Alexa, play my flash briefings. And it's sort of a news feed. It's like turning the news on, but there's a bunch of brief different things you subscribe to. Chris talks about the real estate market in the area. Myrtle Beach talks about the events coming up. You might have some other news sources you subscribe to. It'll tell you the weather as well. It's sort of this brief little neat nugget of stuff while you're getting ready. But now that Alexa, Toyota, and Ford, for example, over the next year, are building these into cars, which means you can get into your car and say, what's in the news, or play my flash briefing, and all the different sources you subscribe to are going to be in the car talking to you, which is very powerful for what we are doing at SoundUp. So what we can help you do at SoundUp is get your news to people to subscribe to. So if you're a local realtor and you think, okay, well, I don't have anything really to say, but I know about local events, you can start a flash briefing called Brunswick County Events. And so every morning they listen to Brunswick County Events by Eagle Realty. And you've just branded this event thing, and they come to you for that trust and that sort of thing. If you're a restaurant, you can do your daily dinner specials. So every day you hear T-Bone's Restaurant, here's their steak special for the night. Or you're About Time, and you can hear the live bands. Any restaurant, any realtor, any industry can do something with flash briefings. And that's kind of what we hope get you on to do. The other thing that we're doing is a lot of people are doing podcasts. So we also have a podcast skill where you can have your entire podcast on there, and you just tell her to play it. For me, I don't have time to sit around and watch videos all the time. I know a lot of people want to sit around and watch video, but if I watch a video, I can't do my work because then I'm watching a video. But with Alexa, I can tell her to play things, and I can talk to her while I'm doing work, and she sort of plays the podcast and other things in the background. So what we do essentially at SoundUp now is we help you get on there without any coding. We don't charge an arm and a leg. You can get our service for $9 a month, and that's kind of the gist of what we do. So I wanted to see if anyone had any questions about Alexa, voice, or anything in that realm, and we'll start with this first hand over here.
Can you go more into what a podcast is for people, and then what kind of advantages is podcasting? And I believe I've seen on the website that you guys post podcasts, not just put the skill out. You actually post podcasting, I guess.
Right. So a podcast is essentially an audio show. Some people do it with video and audio, but a podcast can be a few minutes long to a few hours long, and it's you interviewing or talking about the news and different things like that. Some of the ones I subscribe to one at The Verge, TheVerge.com, and they talk about tech news, and they speak for an hour, and they discuss like upcoming Apple stuff like that. There's some stories, like Serial Podcast is a sort of really cool story, and every week there's a new episode. It's all audio. It's kind of like old radio shows back in the day. You've got some podcasts that are just about the news where they dive really deep into a subject. And essentially that's what a podcast is, except that normally you can only put your podcast on people's phones and YouTube and places like that. And what we are doing with our podcast skills, we actually get that onto Alexa. So you now have another platform for people to listen to your podcast on. The difference between a podcast skill and a flash briefing, it's a bunch of feeds that play continuously, whereas a podcast skill, you can summon, like Eagle Realty podcast, and it will start playing. So if you subscribe to cooking tips with Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg, for example, and they have tips every morning or every week, you can listen to those, whether it be podcast or flash briefing.
So when you post a podcast, does it go other places? It goes like
yeah, so our podcast hosting does include not just Alexa. You can submit your podcast with us to iTunes and Stitcher and all the other places. That's included with our basic membership. It's just podcast hosting in general. So we don't charge extra for that. So
How much do you charge now?
$9.99 a month.
So, but I need help with audio.
Okay.
Like I have none. So, tell me what I could get from, this would be for real estate. Tell me where you would suggest that I start with you.
So you could brand your flash briefing, for example, if that's what you wanted to do. You could do a flash briefing talking about the market, local, different real estate tips, or if you just wanted to get more reach, you could do similar to what I said and say, go on Facebook every week and find family events, and then record into your phone, hey, this is such and such with such and such company, here's this week's events, and then you just say all the events for that week, kids events maybe, and that's because I'll say right now in this town, there's not a specific kids event skill, and when we made the Myrtle Beach regular events, we had 300 people sign up in the first week for that, and they just hit enable. And then you can get in front of these families, or you could do local sports stuff. You could really do a lot. If you wanted to hit a certain town, say you want to go to Raleigh, for example, You want to get some Raleigh buyers because that's where you get a lot of people from. Go on Amazon. Okay, Raleigh doesn't have a local event thing. Go on Facebook, find local events, do the Raleigh stuff. It depends on where you want to hit because people are searching for this stuff. And so I think there's a lot of different avenues you can take. So you can go straight real estate, or you can brand something else, more information under your name.
Where do you find more traffic is going to? Because I think sometimes people are inundated with local market renting. You know what I mean?
Right.
So where do you see the need being?
People that are doing exactly that in the morning, which most people will say, what's in the news or what's my flash briefing? And now yours is one of those that plays every morning. So that's where the traffic essentially is going to come from, is just the repetitiveness. And it's as easy as them clicking on the phone and hitting enable. And people also searching for it. There's people searching for things on Amazon that don't exist. I've looked up some of the stats, and I can even, I'm sure I can find a website I can send you guys, and you can actually see what people are searching for on Amazon. And I'll find the name of that. We'll figure it out. We'll put it in the notes. We'll leave it in the comments on the video. But you can essentially type in something and see how many people search for it every month on Amazon specifically. Any other questions about anything?
So I missed part of it, but I was just wondering how does somebody know that you have flash briefing on Alexa?
You can promote it just the same way as you would anything else. So when you basically, I'll show everyone. When you create a flash briefing, it goes on to Amazon.com. So it's right there with everything else. So if you go to Amazon.com and you type in Myrtle Beach, one of our Myrtle Beach skills is going to show up in that first list. Not even just specifically searching for skills, but it's going to be right there. And so what that allows you to do is actually have a share button, and you can hit share to Facebook and all those things, and you can share it out every day. Check out today's flash briefing. Check out today's flash briefing. We also provide a widget for your website that you can embed on your website, and it plays your flash briefing for you as well. So we're not just limited to being on the Alexa device. We can actually take it elsewhere if you would like it to go that way. So if I type in Eagle Realty, for example, on the regular Amazon app, not the Alexa app, we have two different, I'll show all the cameras. Is it in focus on the camera? Yeah. So right there, both of these Alexa flash briefings showed up right there. Now, people might not search Eagle Realty on Amazon.com, but if you maybe, if you have, you can make one called Myrtle Beach Shopping and talk about sales and stuff going on. I guarantee people are typing things related to Myrtle Beach on Amazon.com. Also, they can start to rank on Google, but having it on your website, sharing it on your Facebook. I mean, think about it. If you have a few thousand, a few hundred friends on your Facebook, and you share that you're doing a flash briefing for local events, and everyone that has an Alexa, I used to work for Sprint, and anytime someone, and no matter what age, had an app that was related to something they enjoyed, they got really excited. And to see that their friend Jim is going to tell them the events for the week, or tell them about the real estate market or their home value or whatever it is, they're going to get kind of excited. Like, oh yeah, I'm going to enable that. So now every morning when they ask what's in the news or their flash briefing, they're going to hear you tell them whatever you decide to make your flash briefing be about.
So you have to enable that skill?
Yes. So they click the link and they just hit enable. If they're not signed in, Amazon says sign in your Amazon account. Then they hit enable, it will enable. And the cool thing about it is the last enabled flash briefing on your Alexa device is the one that plays first every time. So if they have the generic NPR news and weather, it's going to be those two after your flash briefing. And some people don't know they can add things to the flash briefing until they're told. So you also might become the gateway of conversation about the Alexa and what it's doing. You know, that could go more avenues as well once you start talking with people.
So here's a really easy question.
Sure.
So you do this on your phone? Like, how do you actually record?
You can do it right to your phone.
Okay.
Chris does his into his phone. He records it to his phone, and then you can send it to your computer if you want to, email it, and then just go to our website. This is how easy our website is. You log in, you click upload sound, you choose the date you want it to go live, and you can publish. That's it. We've tried to make that as simple as possible to keep you from having any sort of headache and issues. It's as easy as posting on Facebook.
Okay. Now, daily flash briefings are literally daily?
You can do daily or weekly or monthly or hourly. I don't know who does the hourly ones, but that option's there.
The weather game.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, they kind of have to be, right? You can do weekly. It's like the events I mentioned that a lot, but that would be a good weekly one, and they kind of get reminded for it. The cool thing about this, though, is if you wanted to do daily, you can sit there for an hour on Sunday and record 7 of them, and then schedule them using our program. So that's one of the big things that I wanted, because I'm that kind of person that's really bad about doing things daily. I want to be able to do it all in like an hour or two, and then schedule them out for the entire week. But we had someone to schedule out 2 months worth. So that was pretty cool, and that's probably one of our best, most used features is the scheduling tool. Everybody's taking notes, pausing for the notes. Question?
You said the pricing. You might want to get that again with the discount you get.
Yeah, so our pricing is $14.99 a month, but if you use the promo code podcaster, you get it for $9.99 a month. So I wanted to clarify that. So make sure you use the promo code podcaster. PODCAS. There you go.
So there's a lot of people doing this podcast.
Oh yeah, millions at this point.
Oh, I see this.
Yeah, podcasting.
I see this young man
People-
all the time.
I don't have enough time to do a bunch of different podcasts, which is why the flash briefing to me makes sense, because it's short, less than a minute. And I say this too, you have up to 10 minutes to do a flash briefing. Don't do that. The word flash and briefing don't mean 10 minutes. That means a brief flash of something. I recommend less than 60 seconds or 90 seconds. And don't put an intro. I don't like the big intros. I think it's one thing people are doing that I don't like. Is they sort of have this 10, 15 second intro with music, and this is flash briefing with whoever. I don't think it's the right place to do that. I think you just get to, hey, it's Sean, and here's what's going on in Utah or whatever it might be.
Mm-hmm.
So, any other questions? You guys have good questions. I want more. She's thinking.
Well, I'm thinking. I don't know how to put in words. Okay, if I were a seller out there and I went on and I saw anybody doing this podcasting, and it's real sporadic and doing all this stuff, sometimes it jumbles my mind. You understand? And I'm wondering, if there's not people out there that don't completely understand it like that.
So you have an iPhone, right?
This is what this is.
So
I'm not really.
Android, that's fine too. So there's an app you can download. There's an Android podcast app. There's an iPhone podcast app. And you just download it and you just browse through the podcast. It's the same thing as if you were browsing shows or music or something like that, or on Facebook looking at people's profiles. Essentially what you're doing is just looking for different audio streams that you can subscribe to. And every week you're going to get a notification that there's an update, for
So
example.
you subscribe to all these.
Yes, so same thing. If you have someone's podcast on Alexa, you will see it on Amazon.com. You hit enable, and then to enable it, you just say, Alexa, play Eagle Realty Podcast, and she'll start playing.
Okay, I was wondering when you hear you say something, they're gonna have to pay to do that.
No,
No.
it's free for everyone to listen to. We only charge because we have to pay for hosting and other resources for that. And then the podcast, it depends. You don't even have to do a podcast. Maybe the Alexa thing works for you. But there's a lot of people that do podcasts about nothing. They've done very well. They just bring people on and talk. And Joe Rogan is a guy you guys might know from Fear Factor. And he does UFC commentary. He started a podcast back in 2009, and he gets around 50 or more million listeners a month. And he just brings people on and with no subject matter whatsoever. He had Steven Tyler from Aerosmith on recently, and they were just talking about random stuff. And, if people find you interesting enough or you have something to say, people are going to listen to it.
So you're not actually promoting yourself, what are you promoting?
It's more of a conversation.
Right. A podcast? Yeah, so a podcast, it's whatever you want to do. Like I said, there's one called Serial, and they do like mystery podcast stories. There's one where Chris does where it is talking about the local real estate market. There's one that I do where we talk about local Myrtle Beach events and going to the events and what events are coming up. And then we talk about like fake Myrtle Beach news, that like Johnny Depp is moving to Myrtle Beach, and we tear apart the fake news. So Daniel and I, we do that every Tuesday morning. And we sit there and have a conversation about it. And it promotes your brand because we're Discover Myrtle Beach. So if we're Discover Myrtle Beach, people are listening to it, they recognize our brand. Same thing is just having a billboard up with your face on it. People just start to realize your brand. So they learn about you and they start to trust you and they respect your opinion. And then you have something to say to them, like, oh, by the way, I'm a realtor too. They might think of you first when they think of who they want to help sell or buy a home. So it's all about branding and just getting in front of people in different ways. And Alexa is, if you think about when the iPhone first came out, the App Store came out, and a lot of people were like, oh, this is neat or whatever. And there was an app, I remember, I think it was called iFart. Pretty stupid sounding app, and it made fart sounds. That man made $1 million on that app. So you have the chance now with Alexa being in the same position as that to be the Alexa skill that people download, listen to, and possibly get your name out there in a market that isn't really crowded yet. So it really just got to think in your imagination what you like to talk about that you could also, maybe people would be interested in just listening to you talk about. So if you have a passion for something, you could like knitting kitty sweaters, right? And you could talk about that, and you could, like I'm Sean from StandUpNow.com, and I knit sweaters. Here's what I'm doing this week. Whatever you want. So guarantees those people want to hear about that. And also just go to Amazon.com and type in different things and see what other people have or haven't done. If you're really into, NASCAR, for example, I'm sure they have a couple, but you can go in there and do that. So that's kind of it. It's just whatever you want to talk about. Do you have a question? I didn't make any question. All right.
I like what you said about my idea is throw in a couple of Alexa tips. I bought Alexa for music. Had no idea. Now, for example, my sister uses it for everything. She puts something in the oven, Alexa, set the timer for 10 minutes. Alexa sets the timer, lets her know when the oven is, when checking.
She hasn't actually set the timer.
No. I mean, you can say, Alexa,
It's a voice assistant.
tell me how many people reside in Little River. Alexa, tell me. I mean, it's amazing.
Okay, so that Google Home is very similar to Alexa.
My kids want to. My two sons.
Yeah. Once we're done with the video, I'll demonstrate a couple of Alexa things for everybody.
So that's a good question, though. If we're doing this, does it do it through
The Google
that
platform.
device as well?
We are working with the Google platform.
Okay.
Google does not have a flash briefing set up though.
Okay.
So that's
They don't have
a flash briefing. If you want to do this, I'll explain the difference between those. But essentially, Google does. When we're talking about Alexa flash briefings, Alexa has sold millions more than Google, and they have a built-in program called Flash Briefing. That it's the first thing it tells people about is you can add news sources to Flash Briefing. Google doesn't have that yet, so that's why we haven't built that on there because they just don't have it. So we would go nowhere essentially. Now, when it comes to podcasting, that is something that we're going to have. So you will be able to put your podcast on the Google platform as well. But like I said, if you want to
let's
do this, and then
let's
I'll
close
bring
it
it
out
up.
and do some Q&A right here because I know you guys are going to talk some stuff. So,
But I'm Sean from Sound Up Now, and thank you guys for having me out here.
thank you, Sean. Appreciate it. Sound Up Now. So great stuff from Vinton. Thank you for coming out with Sound Up Now, audio voice marketing, full disclosure. I mean, I'm involved. I'm one of the founders of it too. It's a really cool company, so go check it out, soundupnow.com. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and we'd love to answer anything with voice and audio marketing. Voice is really like the next. It's like live voice, passive, because I can sit on the couch and say, hey, Alexa, set a 10-minute timer for my stove, and I don't have to get up and press the button. We're getting kind of lazy here. So it's passive things. I can say, I'm like, oh gosh, I could type into Google how many teaspoons in a cup, or I can say, hey Alexa, how many teaspoons in a cup? Oh, thanks. That's the kind of thing. It's going to be quick responses. Voice is there. Why? Because it's passive and it's quicker. So when you're talking about devices like Alexa and Google, it will come to, hey Alexa, how many homes are for sale near me? And they're going to tell you what homes are for sale. And this is where it's going. Hey, Alexa, I need to sell my house. Is there a realtor that lives close? This is where it's going. That's where our business is. In real estate and other industries are going to pick up the lead some momentum of using voice tools like Alexa and Google for that kind of stuff. So it's really cool. And I know Stand Up Now is doing flash briefings. They're doing the podcast. That's phase 2. Custom skills like this. Think of apps, like when app ideas were really big, and they still are, and you had a cool app idea that you think people would like. That's where we're going with that, custom skills for Alexa and Google. So if you have a cool idea, we'd love talking to you. Thank you, Stand Up Now, and I hope you guys have an awesome week. Join us next time for Shift next month. And we will.
Hey, Chris, before I forget, when's our next, we have a meeting coming up.
First Wednesday in August for Asian Appreciation Month. August is Asian Appreciation Month. Our next company meeting is the first Wednesday